"You are my creator, but I am your master." That single line from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein tells you everything about the horror you're about to experience. What happens when man plays God? In Frankenstein, the answer is a chilling descent into madness, regret, a monster that never stops haunting us. Imagine creating something so terrifying, so unnatural, that you can't even look it in the eye. That's exactly what Victor Frankenstein did. He didn't summon demons. He didn't find a cursed book. He built his own nightmare from scratch. A nightmare stitched together from corpses, brought to life with ambition, and abandoned in fear. In this video, we're diving deep into the original horror story, the one that started it all. This isn't just a dusty old tale from 1818. Frankenstein is still terrifying today, not because of jump scares or blood, but because it holds up a dark mirror to our human nature. Behind every scream in this story lies something even scarier: obsession, rejection, loneliness, and revenge. These aren't just spooky themes, they're real, and that's what makes Frankenstein timeless. So if you're ready for a chilling, creepy, and unforgettable tale, stay with us as we uncover the twisted world of Frankenstein, from grave-digging to murder, from creation to destruction. This is the kind of horror that crawls under your skin and stays there. And if you're into horror, scary stories, or just love a good creepy vibe, hit that like button, subscribe, and join us, because what you're about to hear might just haunt you tonight. It didn't start with lightning or a laboratory, it started with a nightmare. On a stormy night in 1816, Mary Shelley dreamed a monster into existence and changed horror forever. Imagine this. It's a cold, rainy summer. You're stuck in a dark, candlelit villa in Switzerland with some of the most famous poets of your time. What do you do to pass the time? You tell ghost stories. That's exactly what happened when Mary Shelley, only 18 years old, joined Percy Shelley, Lord Byron, and others at Villa Diodati. Byron challenged everyone to write the scariest story they could. For days, Mary was stuck. Then came a dream. She saw a pale student of science kneeling beside the thing he had put together, a creature, a monster, and it opened its eyes. That dream became Frankenstein, but this wasn't just a scary story. The world Mary Shelley lived in was obsessed with electricity, science, and the possibility of reality. Scientists were experimenting with using electricity to jolt dead animals back to life. Grave robbing for medical research was common. Death and science were becoming disturbingly close, and Mary captured that unease perfectly. The fear wasn't just of monsters, it was fear of what humans could do when they tried to control life itself. Shelley wasn't writing about vampires or ghosts. She wrote about something more horrifying: man's ambition, and how that ambition, when unchecked, can create monsters not just literally, but inside ourselves. It's no accident that Frankenstein was born in the middle of a thunderstorm. Nature itself seemed angry, and what Mary Shelley gave us was more than horror, it was a warning that still feels relevant today. In a world of AI cloning and rapid technological leaps, we're still asking the same question Victor Frankenstein did: just because we can, should we? They say knowledge is power, but for Victor Frankenstein, knowledge was a curse, one that gave birth to horror. Victor Frankenstein wasn't evil. He wasn't a villain. He was a brilliant young man who wanted to change the world, but in his quest to defeat death, he unlocked something far more terrifying: life. From the moment Victor discovers the spark that animates the body, he becomes obsessed. Day and night, he works in silence, scavenging body parts from graves, slaughterhouses, and morgues. He isolates himself, ignoring his family, friends, and even his health. Why? Because he believes he's on the verge of something great, something no human has ever achieved, and he's right. He does the impossible, but what he creates isn't a miracle, it's a nightmare. In one of the most chilling moments in horror literature, Victor brings the creature to life. The room is dark, the storm outside rages, the lifeless body begins to stir, eyes open, limbs twitch, a groan escapes its lips, and then it breathes. But instead of triumph, Victor is struck with terror. His beautiful creation is grotesque. His dream turns instantly into a waking horror. He flees the room. The creature, confused and abandoned, is left alone. This moment is the beating heart of Frankenstein's terror. It's not just the act of creation, it's the horror of rejection. The thing Victor worked so hard to bring to life becomes something he wants to destroy. And yet, Victor's horror doesn't end there. As he tries to return to normal life, he becomes haunted by what he's done. He falls ill, he's plagued by guilt. And worst of all, he doesn't know where the creature has gone. This fear, the fear of what you've created slipping beyond your control, is what makes Frankenstein so timeless. Victor didn't just build a monster, he built a consequence. We see it today in modern tech, artificial intelligence, and even social media. We build things that we think will help us, but what happens when they grow beyond us? Victor Frankenstein isn't just a character, he's a warning. A reminder that obsession, when fueled by ego, can create something truly monstrous, not just in the lab, but inside ourselves. Imagine opening your eyes for the first time, and the only thing you see is your creator running away in horror. When the creature first awakens, he's not evil, he's not violent, he's a blank slate, curious, confused, and desperate for connection. But the world he enters offers only fear. hatred, and pain. Wandering alone through the cold forests and villages, he's driven by a single desire: to be accepted. He hides in the shadows, watching families from afar. He listens, learns, and mimics their language. He helps them in secret, gathering wood, clearing snow, leaving small gifts. All he wants is to be loved. But when he finally steps forward, hoping to reveal himself, the reaction is instant and brutal: screams, violence, rejection, again and again. The horror here isn't just what the creature looks like, it's what he feels. He was never taught cruelty. He learned it from how the world treated him. As Mary Shelley wrote, "I am malicious because I am miserable." This is the tragedy that makes the creature so haunting. He's not a monster by birth. He becomes one because he is denied kindness, denied love, and above all, denied identity. Victor never gave him a name, and in that silence, the creature becomes a symbol of abandonment, of the outcast, of what happens when society punishes those who are different. But make no mistake, he's terrifying. He lurks in the woods. He watches silently from the shadows. He strikes when no one expects. His strength is unmatched. His rage is cold and calculated. This blend of human pain and monstrous power is what makes the creature one of horror's most iconic figures. He's not a zombie. He's not a demon. He's something far scarier. A creation with feelings. A being capable of deep love and deeper vengeance. In many ways, the creature is more human than his creator. He questions his existence. He feels loneliness so intensely it drives him to tears and later, to bloodshed. And that's what unsettles us the most. We can't dismiss him as just evil. We see ourselves in him. His hunger to belong, his pain from rejection, and the transformation of sorrow into rage. It's all disturbingly familiar. So when you think of Frankenstein's monster, don't just picture bolts and stitches. Picture heartbreak, picture betrayal, picture the terrifying truth. Sometimes monsters aren't born, they're made. They made me a monster now. They'll see what I've become. What happens when love turns to rage? In Frankenstein, it ends in blood. The creature, once desperate for connection, now turns to revenge, and his first target is Victor. It begins with tragedy. Victor's younger brother William is found dead, strangled, cold, lifeless. But the horror doesn't end there. Justine, a kind, innocent girl, is accused of the murder and executed. Victor knows the truth. He sees the creature lurking in the distance and realizes what he's done, but he stays silent. Guilt strangles him just like the hands that took William's life. The horror here isn't just the murder, it's the betrayal. Victor's creation, once abandoned, is now punishing him. And the worst part, it's working. Victor becomes tormented. He travels to the mountains, desperate for isolation and answers. That's when the creature appears again, this time not as a killer, but as a speaker. And what he says is chilling. He doesn't scream, he doesn't attack. He tells his story quietly, intelligently, with heartbreaking clarity. He speaks of rejection, of loneliness, of trying to do good, and being met only with hate. And then he makes a request. "You made me, now make me a mate." That's right. He doesn't want to destroy the world. He just wants someone who won't run from him in fear. Someone like him, someone to love. Victor is torn. His guilt says yes, his fear says no. Eventually he agrees. He begins building a second creature, another life, another potential horror. But before he finishes, he panics. What if she hates the first creature? What if they both turn violent? What if they have children, an entire race of monsters? So he destroys her. And just like that, the creature snaps. What follows is a trail of terror. A wedding night soaked in blood. Elizabeth, Victor's bride, murdered in her bed. Victor's father, dying from grief. The horror becomes deeply personal. The creature isn't random, he's precise. Every death is a message. You took everything from me. Now I'll do the same. This section of the story drips with dread. You're not just watching violence, you're watching a slow, calculated unraveling of a man who thought he was playing God, and the true terror. Victor still refuses to take full responsibility. He blames a creature, but never fully owns what he's done. Frankenstein forces us to face a cruel truth. Sometimes, the scariest monsters are the ones who run from what they've created. Two broken souls, one final chase across the frozen edge of the world. After losing everyone he loves, Victor Frankenstein has nothing left but vengeance. The creator now becomes the hunter, chasing his creation across mountains, forests, and icy wastelands. The journey is brutal. Cold winds tear at his body. Hunger gnaws at him. But Victor is fueled by one thing only: revenge. He follows the creature to the ends of the earth, literally to the Arctic. There, among the frozen seas, Victor collapses, weak, sick, dying. He's found by a ship's crew and taken aboard. On his deathbed, he tells his story. He begs the ship's captain not to follow the same path of ambition and madness. Then he dies. But the story isn't over. The creature, drawn to his creator one last time, sneaks aboard the ship. What follows is one of the most heartbreaking scenes in horror, the monster mourning the man who gave him life and then abandoned him. He doesn't laugh, he doesn't gloat, he weeps. He speaks of pain, of loneliness, and of how even revenge didn't fill the emptiness inside him. Then he disappears into the icy darkness, promising to end his own life. And just like that, the tale ends cold, quiet, and devastating. There's no final battle, no happy ending, just two lives destroyed by ambition, fear, and silence. Frankenstein doesn't scare you with what jumps out of the shadows, it scares you with what's left behind when everything is gone. Beware, for I am fearless, and therefore powerful. Over 200 years later, Frankenstein still whispers warnings from the shadows. What makes Frankenstein so terrifying isn't he the creature as face it's the mirror it holds up to us. It's a story about ambition, loneliness, obsession, and the terrifying cost of ignoring responsibility. Victor wanted to create life, but didn't want to care for it. The creature wanted love, but found only hate. That's what makes this horror story timeless. It isn't about ghosts or ghouls, it's about people. About what we create, what we abandon, and what we become when we're pushed too far. In an age of rapid technology, genetic experiments, and AI, Frankenstein feels more relevant than ever. The question Mary Shelley asked in 1818 still haunts us today. Just because we can, should we? So if this story chilled your spine or made you look at horror in a new light, hit that like button, share it with a fellow horror lover, and subscribe for more scary, creepy, and thought-provoking tales, because the most haunting monsters are the ones that look back at us in the mirror.